And I should have added, by the way, just to know the political animal, and you know this, the political animal that Bill Belichick is. Why does he continue to say great things about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys? One, he wants the job. But before he was a free agent, why did he say great things about Jerry Jones, especially lately? Because that's Robert Kraft's rival. So it's a way to stick it to Robert Kraft. Jones is in the Hall of Fame. Kraft isn't. It really bothers Robert Kraft that he's not in the Hall of Fame and Jones is. And so Bill will just go on about Jerry Jones. Oh, he's great. Oh, he does great stuff. And if you look back, Mike, and this is how you know this is some dirty pool here on Belichick's part. If you look back and you see a comment that he was asked, Belichick was asked a comment a few years ago. Hey, Robert's a Hall of Fame candidate. What do you have to say about the guy who signed your checks? He said, pretty good candidate. That was it. He's pretty good. Next, you want to talk about third down defense? You want to talk about the kicking game? You want to talk about the long snapper? So this is some political business happening. You say you don't want to be political? Bill Belichick wants to be political. That's why he's raving about Jerry Jones, because Robert Kraft can't stand it.
Oh, I've had people sending me clips of the various things Belichick says this year, and he's on too many platforms for me to even be interested at this point. But some of the stuff he said has made it onto my radar screen, and he's doing what he can to sanitize this idea that he can't be worked with, and sometimes owners make decisions. I mean, he's acknowledged you need two people to run an operation. Like, it's just a lot of stuff trying to get folks out there who might be concerned about Bill Belichick showing up and taking over, that he won't until he does. And I've kind of got an unofficial Bill Belichick watch list, and the Cowboys have been at the top of it. At some point in one of these shows, the occasion will arise to list the rest of the teams that I'm keeping an eye on, but the Cowboys are the most obvious. I think at the end of the day, Michael, and Jerry Jones has talked about it openly, I think at the end of the day, he's not going to pay him. He's too cheap to pay him. You know, the Bengals could be on the watch list too. Mike Brown definitely ain't going to pay him. I think at the end of the day, Jerry wants to talk about it because we'll talk about it if he talks about it. And he wants to dominate the news cycle. And that'll be the big mystery after the season ends. Is McCarthy going to come back? Probably not. Who's they going to hire? Well, Bill Belichick's going to be hovering over everything. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. I think at the end of the day, I mean, if Belichick wants market rate, I don't think Jerry's going to give it to him.
Well, this is where he could, though. This is where he could give it to him. Belichick may have lowered his price a little bit. If Belichick says, I can work with anybody, and I don't necessarily need personnel control. I'll be the head coach. All right, so what's the market rate for just a really good head coach? Not the czar of the entire football operation. I mean, you can make the case that Belichick was worth the, after a while, we lost track of what the number was, 22, 25 million. Yeah, I'm not just coaching the team. I'm also the general manager. I'm the face of the franchise, especially after Brady left. I'm the face of the franchise. I've got championships. Yeah, this is the market rate. But let's say it's not 22. Let's say it's 14 or 15. Would he pay Bill Belichick $15 million to coach the team and stay away from personnel? Just be an input guy, but not necessarily the number one decision maker.
I don't know. I really don't. I need to see what he's paying McCarthy, because that's the thing. You never quite know exactly what coaches are making, because they get paid by the team and then they get paid on the side. And it's okay because there's no salary cap. There's the actual salary that sometimes comes to light, and then there's the real compensation that gets hidden so the guys who aren't making as much don't get any ideas. And I believe there's been collusion when it comes to coaches for decades, and they'd be better off with the salary cap because there would also be a salary floor and everyone would know what everyone is making and you could negotiate better. But I don't know what McCarthy's getting. $15 million still sounds like more than what Jerry Jones would want to pay. And you raise an interesting point. Would Belichick truly submit to whatever Jerry and Stephen Jones and Will McClay are putting together. Maybe he would. And then there's the separate side of it. And this is where Jason Garrett says it would never work. Bill Belichick wants to be all about football, and Jerry Jones wants to be all about everything else. And could Bill Belichick ignore, just as noise that's meaningless to what he's trying to do, the stuff Jerry says twice per week on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas? Because I think one of the first things Bill would try to get Jerry to do is stop doing that.
I disagree. I think he'd be fine with it because he knows going in, that's what Jerry is. That's what Jerry does. And if you want to say there's a weakness to Bill Belichick's game, Jerry has taken care of two weaknesses of Bill Belichick. One, recently, personnel. Like Belichick the last 5 years has just been a bad evaluator of talent, whether it's in the draft or free agency. Just a bad job, period. And the Cowboys, whether it's Jerry, Stephen, or McClay, they've done a pretty good job of personnel, drafting players and signing players. And the other thing is, he doesn't always want to play the media game. We know that he's doing it now, but he didn't want to do that. All the short answers and just not really engaging on simple stuff with the media. Well, let Jerry handle that. In a way, Jerry Jones would allow him to focus on football. Okay, Jerry wants to do his thing with the fan. I understand. He's not going to give up any state secrets. He's just going to do the Jerry thing. But what I'm concerned about, keeping the intel inside the locker room, I know he's not going to break that trust. So fine. I think it'd be a good fit.
You're intriguing me as you say that. You're right. You just let him go out there and say whatever he wants to say. As long as you can trust he's not going to give away any of the things that you don't want to be compromised. Just, go. Pay attention to Jerry, and I'll be over here doing my thing, and no one will really know what I'm doing. That's an interesting point. I still think at the end of the day, money could be the key. And Bill, however he would spin it, he's going to have to take less than what he's used to getting from Robert Kraft with the Patriots. And maybe that's another way to stick it, taking dramatically less from his arch rival in Dallas. Maybe there's a benefit to that as well. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.